And just like that, we are back doing another show, back-to-back nights here on the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge, presented by Georgia Alabama Sports Live. No virtual backdrop this time, as I'm just getting prepared for the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show that Thrip Barrage and I are doing later tonight, 7:30. We've got some special guests lined up. You don't want to miss it. But we do have a good show. This is a pre-show for the pre-show, as I'm just getting ready. A lot of sporting events that has happened, breaking news that's happened this afternoon, including the two-time champion UConn Huskies head coach Dan Hurley has decided he is going to stay put in UConn, and the Lakers, who threw a bunch of big money at him, now they are scrambling their heads, and where do they go from here? Who do they hire as their next head coach? And did Dan Hurley make the right decision? I believe he did. The same situation happened 20 years ago when Coach K got offered the Lakers job when Phil Jackson stepped down in 2004, and he turned it down, and he would go on to win several NCAA titles for Duke and retire as one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. I do believe that Dan Hurley is on that level. You win 2 national titles. I mean, you're in the conversation with the greats, to include Coach K, to include Bobby Knight, to include Adolph Rupp. Yeah, I'm really aging the listeners way back there. Jay Wright recently, I mean, he was dominant at Villanova. You go into that conversation, and do the Lakers call Jay Wright? I seriously thought about this. I thought about who the Lakers can get as their next head coach. Do they go after J.J. Redick again? I know that he was the leading candidate, and it looked like everything was in place for J.J. Redick to be the coach, and then all of a sudden this Dan Hurley news drops, and, J.J. Redick is probably getting his feelings hurt, and I'm wondering if the Lakers end up crawling back to J.J. Redick. There are some other candidates, including Kenny Atkinson. He's had some experience. His winning record is not all that great. I don't think they're going to try to throw big money at one of the assistants. But you got to remember, no Lakers coach since Phil Jackson left in 2011 has lasted longer than 3 seasons. Even Frank Vogel, that won a title in 2020, got fired. And we're not talking about scrub coaches here. We're talking about really good coaches. Mike D'Antoni. Luke Walton was under the system with Steve Kerr in Golden State. Byron Scott, he had success taking the New Jersey Nets to the finals in 02 and 03. These are not scrubs at all. And recently, Darvin Ham, who now, by the way, is an assistant with Doc Rivers with the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Lakers, they're going to have to find a coach to build for the future. Because, yes, we know that this is LeBron's team right now as we speak. And LeBron's going to have a say in this matter. And he has had a history of running coaches out of town. And I know that Eric Spoelstra is not going to be leaving Miami anytime soon, because that's really the only coach that it really worked out with LeBron. And Tyronn Lue. I mean, coaches that LeBron has won a championship with the exception of Frank Vogel, has been run out of town. So I don't know where they go from here. I think they offer the job to J.J. Redick. How about this? I'm going to call this my new segment, my Tuesday Hot Sports Take. I'm just going to have fun with this. Why not offer the job to Phil Jackson? Unrealistic, I know. Phil Jackson is 78 years old. The oldest coach in the NBA is Greg Popovich, who's 73. I know that his coaching days are done, but the Lakers have had the most success, obviously, with Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson has been responsible for 5 championships in this century. And when he left, it seemed like the franchise just went in shambles. And I know that this is not really a good job. The brand, the name on the jersey, the history of the Lakers organization, the Hall of Fame players, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq. It's a tough job because the expectations are so high. And I don't think any coach out there is going to want this job. I think right now, J.J. Redick is the leading candidate because he's LeBron's guy. But he is calling the finals, by the way. Which, by the way, that's a good segue to my next topic, as the Boston Celtics have an early 1-0 series lead over the Dallas Mavericks. Game 2 will be Wednesday. Game 3 will be Wednesday night in Dallas, as they have a 2-0 series lead. Yeah, I'm not doing a show Sunday night. So, as the Dallas Mavericks try to climb out of an 0-2 hole, the Celtics were up 2-1 against Golden State in the 2022 NBA Finals. But this team's a lot different. A lot of those players on that 2022 NBA Finals were physical players. Boston was more known for their defense. They had players like Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon. This team has got offensive players that can also play defense. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis, he's a unicorn. There's really nobody like him, with the exception of Wemby and Chet Holmgren. Just that type of big man that can be a post player, but he also likes to take it outside the arc and shoot the three. And then Drew Holiday. Why did Milwaukee give up on this guy? He helped the Bucks lead them to an NBA title in 2021. And then the Bucks wanted Damian Lillard so bad. They wanted him so bad they shipped off Drew Holiday in that trade. Well, joke's on them, because the Boston Celtics are 2 wins away from winning their first title since 2008, and they are 2 wins away from winning their 18th title. And this is a very good, balanced team. They don't have Hall of Fame players just yet. I'm not going to say that this is an all-time Boston Celtics team, because that 86 Celtics team had 4 Hall of Famers. And then that 2008 Celtics team had 3 Hall of Famers. I just don't think that this is an all-time team, but it's a very good, balanced team with all-stars. The last time that a team with a bunch of all-stars, not necessarily superstars, won an NBA title was the 2004 Detroit Pistons. I mean, they don't even have Hall of Famers. Chauncey Billups didn't even make the Hall of Fame, and he won NBA Finals MVP in 2004. I think that this Boston Celtics team is deep. I think the Celtics fans are in Kyrie's head, and I just think that Luka is tired. He's really tired, and I think that the Boston Celtics, they might win a game in Dallas, but they're going to close this series out, and they're going to win this series. I think it goes 6, but I do think the Boston Celtics win the NBA title. Hey, it's championship week. I'm supporting the local team to the Chattahoochee Valley, the Columbus Lions. They are in the AIF Championship this Friday night, Columbus Civic Center, as they are taking on the Corpus Christi Tritons, trying to go back-to-back. On the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, we're hoping to have the Nighthawk, Coach Damian Daniels, and Columbus Lions quarterback Marcus Brooks, and one of the owners, Casey Smith. We're trying to get them all on several of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live shows that we are doing later this week. And also, we hope to have on Rick Beach, who did a phenomenal job on the broadcast alongside Thrift Behringer. Rick Beach from Kutsu Sports. And also, I'm hoping to be there as well. I mean, with my work obligation, I'm actually 4 hours away. I'm in the other side of the state, as I'm just trying to make it work. But I'm excited. I'm supporting the Columbus Lions as I'm rocking the t-shirt. So good luck, Columbus Lions, this Friday for the AIF Championship. And now let's go ahead and transition to Caitlin Clark getting snubbed for Team USA. The Olympic team was announced, and Caitlin Clark was not one of the 12 members. Is she the 12th best player in the WNBA? Probably not. Production-wise, she might not even be the best rookie. I mean, she's doing well, averaging 17 points a game, but her overall game, the defense, the rebounding, the block shots, I mean, Angel Reese, it can have a say in that because she's been putting up big-time numbers. But it's the Caitlin Clark factor. She is moving the needle. You have venues being moved to NBA venues and drawing over 20,000 fans. That is the Caitlin effect. You need somebody like that in the Olympics. Because if you're going to grow this sport, and if you are going to get the world to watch Caitlin Clark, and look, if you think she's not the 12th best player in the WNBA, then don't put her on the list. But if you feel that she is going to help your team win because she can shoot threes and she is just going to continue getting better, then yes, she needs to be on this list. She needs to be on Team USA. But this situation, it looks so similar to the 1992 Dream Team when Isaiah Thomas was left off the roster. And instead, John Stockton was the player that was selected over Isaiah Thomas. Now, John Stockton's a good Hall of Fame point guard, but Isaiah Thomas was deserving of being on the Dream Team. And we all know that he was not on the Dream Team because he didn't get along with Jordan. He didn't get along with Bird. He didn't get along with Magic. He didn't get along with Scottie Pippen. So, is this the same situation? I mean, there's some WNBA players like Diana Taurasi, like Brittany Griner, that do not like Caitlin Clark. They don't like her. You need to get over yourselves. I mean, I don't know if it's jealousy or not, but she is moving the needle in your sport. You will probably get more revenue because of Caitlin Clark. Why don't you take advantage of this? Strike while the iron is hot. Yeah, she needs to be on the Dream Team, or the USA basketball team. It's a Dream Team for girls. She needs to be on the USA basketball team. Oh, boy. All right, I'm moving everywhere on this show, but up. The College World Series, we pretty much got SEC and ACC teams that punched their ticket to Omaha. It's going to be one more because we've got the winner-take-all game between Georgia and NC State later tonight. In fact, it's about an hour away. And this was the matchup in the winner-take-all, Georgia-NC State, for the right to go to Omaha back in 2008. But the College World Series teams, let's see. You got Florida State, you got Kentucky, you got Texas A&M, you got Florida, you got Tennessee, you got Virginia, and you got North Carolina. And I'm just excited about the College World Series. I mean, it's one of those events that I would like to go to in my lifetime. It is a big event, and Omaha is great. I know that it's just one of those sporting events that's very underrated. And I love the College World Series. And the reigning champion LSU is not even in the College World Series. I actually think that Florida might win it. They were in that epic battle with LSU last season. Remember, the last non-SEC school to win the College World Series was 2018. Can an ACC school up in the SEC? I'm thinking maybe North Carolina. How cool would it be? And I think there might be on the same bracket. I'll have to check the bracket. How cool would it be if it was Kentucky, North Carolina in the College World Series? Both basketball schools making it to the College World Series championship. That'd be pretty fun and exciting. Hey, game 2 tonight of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Florida Panthers taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Florida has never won a Stanley Cup. Edmonton has not won a Stanley Cup since 1990. Edmonton won 5 Stanley Cup titles in the 1980s and 1990 if you want to count that decade. Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, those teams were legit. Edmonton has not been to a Stanley Cup final since 2006. But Florida, they got a pretty good hot goaltender. And I know that Edmonton has got the best hockey player in the world, Connor McDavid. But I think that Florida ends up taking control of this series, and they win game 2, and they send it back to Edmonton up 2-0. All right, we got the U.S. Open this weekend at Pinehurst Golf Country Club in North Carolina. The defending U.S. Open champion is Wyndham Clark, but Scottie Scheffler is the odds-on favorite to win the U.S. Open. Xander Schauffele, the reigning Masters, or the reigning PGA Championship winner, he is a third favorite, and Rory McIlroy is favored number 2. And everybody wants to know what Tiger Woods is going to do, if he is going to make the cut. I look at the U.S. Open and I kind of look at the storylines really, it's all about Scottie Scheffler right now. I don't know if Scottie Scheffler is going to ever catch Tiger Woods, but right now, Scottie Scheffler is the number one golfer in the world. And once he got arrested during the PGA Championship, this was like a guy that you root for. And if he did not get arrested, I can almost guarantee you he would have won the PGA Championship because he was in the zone. He had a terrible third round. And if he would have just regrouped and got a good third round, I think he's in contention in that fourth day and possibly going for a Grand Slam. So Scottie Scheffler is the odds-on favorite to win the U.S. Open. Hey, Columbus United is in action. They got 2 soccer matches this week. Wednesday, Kennett Stadium against Pensacola FC. It's Ted Lasso night. The first 1,000 fans get a Ted Lasso mustache. If you have no idea what Ted Lasso is, go get an Apple TV subscription because Ted Lasso is a very funny comedy about a soccer team in the English Premier League. And, well, actually, don't want to spoil it for anybody. They're not always in the English Premier League. I'm just going to leave it at that unless you want to go binge watch that. It's a pretty good show, pretty funny. Nick Sudeikis, we all know him as one of the funniest comedians out there. Anyway, and then on Saturday, it is Soccer Dad's Night as they are taking on the New Orleans Gestures. Both games on the pitch at 7 o'clock at Kennett Stadium. The last home game that the Columbus United soccer team had was on June the 1st, and over 2,000 fans showed up to support this outdoor soccer team. And also, you got Fountain City FC also in their championship, same day down at Otis Spencer Stadium. So check them out as well. And then Tuesday, a very special day in Columbus sports history. Tuesday at 4 o'clock, we will have the groundbreaking ceremony for the new ballpark for the AA affiliate for the Atlanta Braves. More than likely, they might be called the Columbus Braves, but we will see what this team and their logo and everything's going to be about. I cannot wait to see this AA minor league ballpark when it is finished. I've seen pictures of it. It looks incredible. The pictures look incredible. And this is really a great moment. You know, I want to thank the Columbus Sports Council and then everybody, the City of Columbus, Mayor Skip Henderson, everybody for making this possible. And that should do it for the pre-show to the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show that you can catch at 7:30 later tonight with myself and Thrift Behringer. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy the Stanley Cup Finals. We will talk to you then. Bye, everybody.